Hey YouTube, what's up? I am starting the weekly recap a little bit early. It's technically, well, not technically, it actually is Friday at 4:34. I've got a little bit of time before Jason gets off work, and we've got some stuff planned for tomorrow, so I figured I would get a jump on this video, so I wasn't rushing to finish it on Sunday. So, where are my notes? It was a far busier week than this week than it was last week. Yay. Super grateful for that. So we will jump into the world of Etsy first. Just because it's usually what I start with. So we had a good week. We had a good week on Etsy. So let me get to the page. So we have a Fitz and Floyd Majolica cabbage, salt, and pepper shaker set. That was a consignment item from the lady at the gym. And we made $26.63 on this. That will be split 60-40. So as the seller who does the majority of the work and the listing and the onus of the packing and all that other good stuff, it's a 60% to me, 40% to her. So those went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and I actually just packed those up about an hour ago. Then we have a vintage wooden Coca-Cola crate. I have had this thing sitting on the bottom shelf in my room for 2 years, 2.5 years. I've had it so long, I don't remember where I got it. I can't even begin to remember where I got it. And that was sold and going to Maryland. And I had it listed for, what the heck is that? Oh, $38. And she paid the shipping, of course. So we made $31.86. Next up, we had something that we've had for a long while. We found it in a vintage slash thrift shop down in Wilmington, North Carolina, and Baker Street Vintage, I think, is the name of the place. I've only been there twice in the past couple years, but we've had this thing for a while, and it sold. What did I have it up there for? I had it up there for $12.60. I think I did that when I was trying to keep track of the discount, the price drops that I was doing over time, but I didn't have any kind of a system for it, so I have no idea. But we have had it for at least 3 years. 4 years? God, something like that. Long time. And this person had it in her cart, so she got a 15% off discount. And so we ended up making $11.24. I think we bought it for like $10. So win some, lose some. And that went out to Arizona. Of course it did. Then we have a Swarovski crystal globe. That's 24 karat gold plated spinning ornament, a little desk ornament. And I got that from Langston, local auction house. And so I didn't have to pay shipping on it. It went to California, and it was listed for $30, and the earnings after Etsy's take is $25.62. Does she have any coupons or anything? Nope, no coupons. Then I had a return customer. Hey Jan. And she bought 4 things this week. One was a brass catch-all or house planter holder with handles, and it's been listed, but it's been listed at a very high price because I was using it in my own house, and I finally decided to clean off some tableside stuff, and that one I lowered the price and she snagged it. So that and a bamboo crock planter and a vintage ceramic baby carriage house planter. These things are interesting. I think they're interesting. Not very many people seem to find them interesting, but back in the day, hospitals would put little house plants or little flower arrangements in these things for um, new parents, new mothers, and they were gifts that the hospital gift shops would usually sell. And this one was super cute, from the 1940s, 1950s, and we have had that literally since we started this. I think we either found it at the flea market over here in Raleigh at the fairgrounds, or at a restore Habitat for Humanity. I can't remember which place we found it. And then she also purchased my favoriteest lamp, the peacock lamp with the white globe. I love that thing. I almost kept it. So I will get to that shortly because it's a little further down. But anyways, we ended up shipping that out to Texas and made third between all of them, after refunding her some shipping money and Etsy's cut, we made like $36. Then another one that's been sitting for a minute. We went to Las Vegas a couple years ago and we went thrifting through Vegas up into Utah, Arizona area, and this was also a repeat buyer. He came back and purchased a lucite flower bouquet. I want to say I found this thing. I have no idea which place it was. It was right before we were flying out, I think. Maybe. I don't know. These things just tend to blur together after so many years. But I know it was only like $10 or $12. Did have to pay to have it shipped to North Carolina from Nevada. Um, so I definitely didn't make as much as I would have liked on it, but still $19.55. He had a 20% off thank you coupon, so that came into play as well, and that went up to Pennsylvania. Then we had a really cool picture. The bottom of it says E. Curtis MBS. It's like an Art Nouveau hand painted picture. Very pretty. Haven't ever seen anything like it. Couldn't find anything like it online, so I just randomly grabbed a price because what are you going to do with that? I got this in the Langston auction. I want to say a couple auctions ago, so I don't remember right off the top of my head what I paid for it. It was in a lot, you can be sure of that. And it was up there listed for $55, and it shipped over to Asheville, North Carolina, so didn't go too far from Langston to me to Asheville. It's just traveling west towards the mountains. But we earned $48.32 on this order. Just hope it makes there in one piece, because anytime I ship things within North Carolina, I always stress, because let's see, 2 out of the 4 things that have been broken since we've been doing this have shipped in North Carolina. 1 to Durham, which is right up the road basically, and another one out to Greensboro or Burlington area, which is less than 2 hours away from here. So I don't know what they're doing out there, but I fret a bit whenever I'm shipping within the state. Then we had let's see, it's a little glass, a Leilanu Peninsula up in Michigan. So it was celebrating that peninsula area up in Michigan, and I know you will never guess where it went. Back to Michigan, and we made $14 on that order. Then here it is, the pastel peacock globe lamp. I love this thing. I am very happy that I kind of know the person who's getting it and going to have it, because I was a little sad to pack that one up, and I'm just like, oh Lord, I hope it gets there in one piece. I'll be devastated if it doesn't. We found that at a flea market on our way to South Carolina, to see 2 feet. Then let's see, what was that? I don't even know, because she has a coupon for 20% off, a thank you coupon, and I refunded her some shipping. What did I even make on that? Maybe $60, something like that. I don't know. There was only one. The guy at the flea market had it just thrown in a bin, like a metal bucket in the corner, and I saw it and I snagged that sucker. I don't even think he had a price on it. So I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I did make some money off of it. So yay. It's the name of the game. Trying to stay in business here, you know. Then we have oh, this was another favorite of mine. We got this for free in a box of stuff. We went to pick up an auction a couple years ago out in Spring Hope. That's east towards the coast, North Carolina, and never bought anything from this place again, this auction house, because we walked in and there was like freaking, it was raining. It was like a downpour, and there was water just dripping through the barn roof onto the things that people have already purchased, which pisses me off. Like, come on, can you have a little care for the people that spent money at your business already? Like, I don't understand that. So, you know, these auction houses, some of them just don't seem to give a crap. But anyways, we stopped at a little vintage place, thrift store, on the way home, and there was a big giant cardboard box of stuff, and the lady's like, it's all free, just please take it and get it out of here. So we said okie dokie, and we did. So we got this for free, technically, and it was a while ago. Made $15 on it. I think I had it listed for 19. She had it in her cart, so she got a 15% off on that, and that went to Florida. And it was delivered already, so yay. I hope she loves it. And then we had a vintage floral embroidery, yellow roses on tan linen. I had a pair of these. They were framed in picture frames behind glass, right? Nice frames. And one's purple, one's yellow. And this was from Langston, and Jason went to pick this up, and the guys had smashed the hell out of the damn glass and the frame. So I ended up just rescuing the needlework and selling it without a frame, and I still think it's beautiful. It went to Massachusetts, and I had it listed for $40. It's like an 8x10 size, and ended up making $39 on that, which helps the sting of the broken thing, because I was going to sell them, you know, as a pair. Anyways, because they were done by the same person. Another consignment piece, 8-inch Lenox snow lily salad plates, gray with floral detailed platinum trim. This is from the gentleman at the gym, and she bought 2 of them, and they went out to Louisville, Kentucky. And again, this is a 60-40 split, so I'm not really sure. It was $20 after Etsy's cut, so 60% of that or whatever. I don't really plan on making a lot from this particular individual, just because of the situation. His wife recently had passed away from Alzheimer's, and he's downsizing, and I'm just trying to help him out. Then we have an antique Rockingham pitcher. Have had this for a minute, and it's funny because I got a message from the buyer, and the question was, why is shipping so expensive? And I'm like, she's in California. Anytime I get that question, they're either in Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, or California. Every single time. So for sure, she ended up buying it, and she was in California. And I had this one for a long time again. I don't remember. I don't remember where I got it. I may have got it in an auction. It's possible. I don't know. So didn't get a whole lot for it because it was so large. It had been sitting forever. So I just was like reducing the price. And the price she purchased it at was $18. And she had a coupon from having it in her shopping cart. So didn't make a whole lot on it. 14 bucks, whatever. It's big, it's fragile. Still hasn't been delivered yet. Fingers crossed it gets there in one piece. Because here's the thing, I say this is what I make, but if something happens and I have to refund this buyer, it's going to take forever to get any money out of FedEx or the post office, whomever I use to send it. So I don't know, whatever. Then we had we had an antique toll painted scale basket, like these antique scales with the metal basket thing. Someone took it apart, or that was the only thing left, and they painted it. It was super cute. We found it on our road trip to Pennsylvania a couple years ago, or a year ago. I still can't remember how long ago that was. It seems like it's been a minute. And I want to say I spent like $10, $12 on it. 15 max. And had it listed for $32. She had it in her cart, so she got a cart coupon, and so the total earnings were like $27.56. That went to Kentucky. Another one to Louisville. All right. Then a large glass flower frog dome. This thing was substantial in weight. Like, I don't think I've had a heavier 19-hole flower frog. It was just robust. And it went to California. And I have had it for a minute. It had some cracks or fractures inside the glass. You couldn't feel it. You could see it when you turned it a certain way. So I priced it accordingly, and then I put it in the summer sale. And so she got a great deal on that. I only made $6.42 on it. So that went to California. Next, we had Swiss Village Man with Pipe. Hand carved figure by O. Mater, Lucerne. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Switzerland. And then I only had 2 of these figures left. I had like 4 or 5, and they've sold over time, and these were the last 2. And the other one is a hand carved Swiss wooden figure, Village Elder with Hat by Omater. Same thing. Those went up to New York State, and they had a cart coupon, so the total was $60, and they got $9 off, so I ended up making $48.22. I'm glad they're off to their new home. Then we have a Turkish ceramic art tile, hand painted, 7-inch. Found this in, where were we going? We were going to South Carolina to stay in a houseboat. That was one thing Jason wanted to try, and I'd found one on Airbnb, and we were on our way there. We stopped at a place, I don't remember the name of it, and found a couple of those on sale for 75 cents. I got 2 of them, and there's a couple chips to each one, so I didn't price them super high, but I did price it for $12, and that's exactly, well, let's see, $12, made $11 on it. And that, where did that go? She didn't have a coupon or anything like that. That went up to Ohio. So not horrible, even with that, because 75 cents, I'll take it. Then we had a consignment piece here from a different person. And this was a tiny 5.5-inch Webster sterling silver reticulated border saucer. The glass part etched with a flower, as you can see, and that went to Jacksonville, North Carolina, which is interesting. That's yeah. So consignment on this, it's a 50-50 split, because I had to drive all the way down to the hinterlands of near Fayetteville, which I hate driving down near there, and go through and help and figure out. And I just took a couple items to see if they would sell, and this was just a small piece, so I didn't price it really high because there was so much like damage to the glass. Like, it's a saucer, so I don't know why a knife cuts would have been on it, but that's kind of what it looked like. And so made $13.78 on that. He already left a review, super nice dude, so very much appreciated that. Then we've got a vintage cigar store Indian statue. These things are really cool. They're made by a company called Red Mill, and they would take pecan shells, however you say it, and crush them up and pour them into a resin or into a mold, and they make these figures out of it. I had a pair of mirrors that I sold that were from that, and they're neat, and they went for a good price. So I've got a sailor dude, and I have this cigar store Indian statue, and this went to West Virginia and made $71.29 on it. Sweet. Next up, I think we're about done. Yeah, we've got two more from Etsy so far. The next one is a vintage leather bookmark lot made in Italy. So I don't know what the deal is with this one on the left. It's was with the lot that I got, and it does not match anything of what the other ones look like, which were made in Italy basically, in their leather. So I just grouped them all together and said to hell with it. I'm going to sell it like this. I had them priced at $20, and wait, did I have them priced at that? No, I didn't. Okay. I had them priced at $30. So after Etsy's stuff, it was like $24. So, and that went to California. Then the last one for now from Etsy was a vintage blue and white square flower frog vase. Really pretty. Made in Portugal. They had a coupon, a cart coupon, but this buyer got to the site. Did they get to the site from there? They got to the site from an off-site ad, which means I pay a higher percentage to Etsy. Thank you so much. You can't opt out of them, these off-site ads, because you make over a certain amount of money. In Etsy, I think it's like $20,000 a year or something. And normally, if you make under that, you can opt out. But because I've been with them for a couple years and made that in a certain amount of time, I only pay 12% instead of 15%. So didn't earn as much as I would have liked on that. Found it in Gibsonville, North Carolina. I can't remember the name of the place off the top of my head, but there's not a lot of antique places in Gibsonville, so do a search, look them up. They're really sweet people, good people, a lot of different vendors. You can usually find a few things in there. Um, and we made 26 bucks on it. So that is Etsy. Then, let me see. This flip cross lister has been like tweaking out because it's not always deactivating things lately, which is really irritating me. And I sent them a message and I have not heard anything back, which not cool. Not cool customer service, buddy. So I had a antique reverse painting. Had it forever. I don't remember where I got it. It was either from Burns or the Chicago auction house or possibly Brownstone, but I've had it for so long that I don't even remember, and I was so irritated because I think something else that I got in that lot was broken, so I got pissed off and I just put it in my closet out on the balcony, and I'm like, whatever. So it's been sitting out there for a couple years. So I went out there to clean that out and I pulled it out, and I just, the back is in poor shape, and the frame, they're so delicate with this gesso wooden stuff around it, and I could have listed it for a lot on Etsy or eBay, but I just didn't want to mess with it, so I said, what the hell, I'll take some pictures, throw it up on Facebook Marketplace and see what happens. And I put it up for 50 bucks, and this awesome lady saw it the morning I posted it and came like 30 minutes later to get it. So very happy about that. Then I tried to do a new auction house a couple months ago. Never will order from them again. Several things broken. It was packed for crap. Um, Not very good pictures, not very good descriptions. So between that and the broken stuff and the cost of shipping, I'm just like, nah. So I had this replica of the 1920s tree nymph sconce, and it looked like someone had tried to paint it because some of the other ones I found are just straight up white. This one has like gold parts on it, and it's too new to post on Etsy, so I put it up on Facebook, sold it for 25 bucks. Happy day. Then one of the most polite individuals I have ever met, God, ever, I think, honestly, is this young person who was coming to go to college here in Raleigh, and they messaged me last week and said, I'm going to be coming down. I would really appreciate if you'd hold it for me. I really want it. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I put it under pending and rolled on and didn't know whether I'd hear anything, but sure enough, they messaged me, and they're just so sweet, so polite, and met up with them, and they got this Japanese Edo style 100 Poets artwork. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name. And I listed it for $17, and that's exactly what they paid. Then I have this gold trinket box, and this is funny because I got this from Langston, and I was totally going to get rid of it because I was like, who is going to want this? You should never question who is going to buy what, ever, because every single time I do, I get schooled. Listed it on Facebook. Actually, it was on Etsy first. I cross-listed it to Facebook for 46 bucks, and there's this lady. She loved it. Came and got it, $46, and I was going to throw it in the trash or put it in the donate box. Don't assume. I should know better at this point, but apparently I'm stubborn and hard-headed, so here we are. I have to keep learning this lesson. Next, I have a flying mallard tile hand-painted by a Native American, and I've had it for a long time. Have no recollection of who I got. I think I got it from an auction house in Pennsylvania. That's all I can remember. But it sold. It sat on Etsy for a couple of years, and then it finally sold $12. Another duck. It was the week for ducks. I don't know if that's like Father's Day or what, but We had a flying duck rectangular metal tray. This was from a creamery place up in Wisconsin. The Moundridge Cooperative Creamery. Don't know where the heck it's at. Where is it? I didn't even put in where it was from, but it was from one like Wisconsin or one of those. And that was listed for $12, and the young couple came and picked it up, and away it went. Happy day. And then I sold a, where is that and why is it not on here? Fly pea flip cross lister, you pain in my butt. Where is it? I am glad I made some screenshots for this because I knew that I wouldn't be able to trust that and just depend on that. I sold a cool 1960s Arthur Umanoff style distressed walnut wood magazine holder for $62. I got that in a local auction. I have a light colored oak or bamboo one left that's very similar, but that was sold for $62. Yay. And I listed it recently too. Then I sold a pair of high heels, the Audrey Brooke brocade glitter peep toe heels. I wore them one time for a wedding, and that's it. I was like, yep, nope. They've been sitting in the closet for God, 9 years? 9 years. So I used to be very, very diligent about if I don't wear it in 6 months, it goes out, it goes away. And I try not to buy clothing unless I love it. So, but that was a necessity for the wedding. So away it went to someone local, $15, happy day. Then I had a Virginia Tech pillow pet. I had it listed for 20. I'd had it up there for a minute. She offered 10. I say, cool, come get it. And she did. And I think that was it on Facebook. Then I had one sale on eBay. Let me get back to that screen. Actually, two sales. Two sales on eBay. Cool. So a vintage wig and hat case, wig storage and hat case. I have had this for a million years. This was something I got in the very first auction from Burns. Very first one I ever participated in. Been sitting around forever. I had it listed for $42. They purchased it and it went to, I want to say, Ohio. It went to Ohio or New York. I can't remember which one. Then I had a vintage console lamp base of an Indian maiden on horseback. And I had it stashed in one of my cupboards, and because I was gonna do the project of putting a lamp in it, but have to remember profits, not projects, all the time. And so I listed it, sold it, $35. It was delivered today, went to Arkansas. So that wraps it up for now, unless I get any more sales in between now and tomorrow, when I do, hopefully can get this thing done and published and out the door. So thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. I would love it if you would like it. Maybe comment what your favorite was. Be cool if you subscribed. It's free. And I'm not one that posts a billion things. I'm trying to do this on a schedule, because if I don't do it on a schedule, I will forget, get busy, and be like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So please like, subscribe, follow, comment, questions, anything. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Here we are. It is Saturday today, and I have sold 2 more things on Etsy, so I wanted to do a quick update, an addendum to what I did yesterday. before I complete the video and upload it for YouTube. So we have a return buyer up in Pennsylvania, the one who just got the lucite flowers that's shown in the video earlier. He bought a vintage red chippy handle kitchen mixer thing. It's interesting. It's like a whisk, like a mechanical whisk. You press it down and it goes into the handle, and then when it comes out, it hope you appreciate that sound effect. I suck at sound effects, but there you go. And he had a coupon as a thank you, and we made $26 on this order. So thank you very much. Then we had, let's see, Freemason publication, and he bought 2 items. One is a book, well, 2 books. One is called The Standard Monitor. I don't know a whole lot about Masonic and stuff, even though my grandfather was in the Masons. He never talked about it because it's very secret, don't you know? But anyways, the book, The Correct Key, and The Standard Monitor, and that is going up to Indiana, and made $37 on that. So that is wrapping up this week's sales from, what was that, June? I have to check. I can't even keep track anymore. The days just kind of blend. So the 7th, which was last Sunday, to today, which is Saturday afternoon, the 13th.